let's talk about mixing colours. It's a big part of drawing with colour pencils, and I'm not sure I've ever done a full video on it. Certainly not a video like this one. So what I want to do today is grab some random objects from around my house and show you how I would go about mixing the colours of the pencils together to make these colours, or the colours of these objects. But before we do that, let's just touch on how you mix colours together, how you make colours using colour pencils. Colour pencil mixing is done through something called layering. That is where you build up a series of colours very lightly on top of each other, one colour after another, gradually building up all of the different pencils. And by building these light layers on top of each other, bit by bit, you can create new colours. It's how you create colours, how you blend from one colour to another, and generally the backbone of all colour pencil drawings. Now, if you want to learn more about layering colour pencils, I will link a video where I go into it in a lot more detail. So let's talk about the couple of objects that I want to colour match. So first up, I've got this cat toy. This is a donut, but I thought it would be good to try and draw the brown section on the back. I don't have a colour too similar to this in my Prismacolor. And beyond this, let's mix a banana. So although you might think that this is just a normal yellow, it's a bit of a kind of earthier yellow. It's a little bit brown. I again don't have this sort of colour in my polychromos set I want to do this with. So let me show you the general method that I would use to create both of these colours. And then I'll show you later on in the video how I would use that to apply to an actual drawing. Now, the main way that I colour match is using swatches. So for every set of pencils that I have, I draw out all of the colours. So I go from as light as each colour can go to as dark as each colour can go, and then label it. And what that gives me is a view of what all of the colours look like on the paper that I'm actually going to draw on. I don't want to be relying on the barrel of the pencil or what the lead looks like, because generally they're not very accurate. I can then use those swatches to compare to the object or the reference photo, whatever I'm drawing, to work out which colour I need to add. So let's start with our first colour matching, and I want to show you by drawing the donut. So I'm starting off by looking for the closest colour to this donut. Now, it doesn't need to be a perfect match. I just want something that's reasonably similar that we can then build the colour off of. So I would say that it's reasonably similar to, maybe it's got a bit of this light umber, but this is quite a lot darker than this. There's also certainly some aspects of beige in here, and it's not dissimilar to the yellow ochre, but I think probably the colour that's closest to this is the goldenrod. So I'm going to start off by putting down a layer of this goldenrod, and then we can go from there and decide which colour is the closest or the one that's missing from there. Now, in terms of how I'm actually putting the pencil down, the most important thing I'm doing is pressing really lightly. Because we're going to need to build up a lot of colours on top of each other to mix this brown, I need to press lightly to enable me to get more colours down. Now, the main way that I help myself press lightly is to not hold the pencil right close to the tip. I hold it further back than you would think. You'll see that I'm holding it maybe about halfway down the pencil, and that literally stops me from being able to press too hard. Beyond that, I am trying to get the pencil down as smoothly as possible, so I'm working in some circular or oval motions, which again just helps get the pencil down in a really consistent way. And pressing lightly and working in the circular motions to make it nice and smooth are both things that I will do throughout making this little swatch. Okay, so now we've got something down, we've got something that we can be building off of. Now, this actually isn't a bad match, I don't think, for this. But what it is it's a bit too light and it's a bit too kind of orange. But it certainly is a good base that we can build off of. So what I want to be doing now is comparing this swatch to the donut and also to the swatches here. And I want to be looking for the next sort of the color that's missing. So as I say, right now, this is both too light and too orange. I think this is quite a bit darker than this, and it's kind of browner. So the closest color that I think we're missing is the light umber. This has the kind of brown tones that I can sort of see in here. This is quite a lot darker than this, but looking at the lighter end of the swatch, I can see some aspects of here and here. And I think if I add some of this color lightly on top of this, it will just tone down the orange and give us a slightly darker base that we can then carry on building on. Okay, so we're a little bit closer on the colour now. It's looking a bit richer. We once again want to be comparing this in the donut and comparing it to the swatches. And I want to be thinking about now what's the most obvious colour that's missing between these two. So obviously this is a much richer colour than what we've got here. This is quite pale. That's okay, that will build up in time. So beyond that, what I'm particularly noticing is that this looks a little bit kind of warmer. It has got this ever so slight kind of pink, and I think that's because this does need to be warmed up a little bit. Now I want to be particularly looking at these pinks along here and kind of seeing which one I think is the closest. So there's some sort of more pinky purples and brighter pinks along here. Then we get much lighter. There's definitely some beige in here, but I think the sort of warmer color that's missing between this and this is more like the peach. I don't know if you can kind of tell. There's not a huge amount of it in here, but certainly I think that is what this is missing right now. So let's add a little bit of peach and see where we go. I think one of the ways in which people always struggle with matching colors is that they're worried that they're going to make a mistake, that they're going to add a color that just doesn't make sense in there. But you'll see when I put this pink over the top that actually it doesn't make a huge difference, and even if it doesn't still quite look right, that's okay, we can add more colors over the top. It's just a case of continually building and eventually it will match this color. So now we're getting a bit closer to the match. I would say that at this point it's probably looking a bit too pink now. So I'm once again comparing my drawing to the donut to the swatches, and I think that goldenrod we need to add a little bit more of this. This looks a bit more orange than this color, but kind of a earthy orange, which goldenrod again matches very well. And just because we've already put some of it down doesn't mean that it wouldn't benefit from some more of it. So let's do that, and then we can see what is the most obvious color that's missing after that. Now we are getting towards the end of matching these colours. I think we've only got a couple more to go. So once again, I want to look at the main difference between these two. And now I think, so it's hard because this is a series of different tones, but I would say that on the most part, this has a bit more of a kind of a light reddish brown to it, like a earthy red, more so than this. This is a bit of a simpler kind of colour. So I think probably the closest colour to this is the sienna brown, but very lightly. You can see a bit of this kind of brown, particularly in the sort of darker patches here. So I'm going to add a very light covering of this, and then I suspect that there'll only be about one more colour that we'll need to add. All right, this is looking pretty close to me now, but I think that there is one final color that we should add in. So this just looks a little bit darker than this, and I think it would benefit from having a light color added to it. Now I have said a few times that I can see some beige in here, so that's the color I'm going to use to go over the top of this and just ever so slightly lighten it up. And I think that when we've added beige onto here, then it is going to pretty closely match this. Now the important thing to remember when you're putting a lighter colour over the top of darker colours like this is that it's not going to fully lighten it. So you're not going to end up with the beige colour really brightly on top of this. All we're going to do is ever so slightly lighten and add a hint of this colour to the darker colours. So you can see with me adding this beige, you can kind of see it's there and it is lightening it up, but not to the full extent on if we had, for example, put just beige down. So that's how I would go about creating this donut colour. Let's do exactly the same thing but with the banana. And I can show you my method for building this up. So we want to do exactly the same as we did before. Look for the colour that is the closest match. Now once again, it doesn't need to be perfect. We just want to go for the closest we can. So we've got these few yellows along the top, and we've also got these couple of Naples ochres around here. So looking at it, I would say that all of these yellows are a bit too bright, whereas these ones are a little bit earthier and look like a better match to me. And I think that this one here, which is Naples yellow, is probably the closest match to start with. So let's put down a covering of that. Okay, so now we've got some colour to be working with. We want to work out where we are adjusting from here. Now this looks way too light in comparison to this. So I think the first thing to think about is toning this down a little bit. So I'm thinking about what the difference is between this and this. Now I would say that we need to add a little bit of brown to tone this down. And probably the brown that is most similar to the brown in the banana is this brown here. This is raw umber. I kind of think of it as a generic light brown. So you can sort of see some of that brown in here. Obviously there's all sorts of shadows, which makes it a little bit harder. But I think if we add some of this, it will tone the yellow down and we'll be able to see a bit clearer where we go from here. So that has toned the yellow down. Let's see where we go from here. Now at this point, I would say that the banana probably looks, I don't know, a tiny bit greener than the swatch. It's not green by any stretch, but it just has this ever so slight green tone to it. And so I want to add a green here. Ideally, we would have an almost yellowish green, but there isn't really one in here. So I want to go for more of a subtle kind of earthy green, and I'm looking particularly at this one here. Well, this one does actually say earth green yellowish in the name, but I'm not really convinced. It looks like yellow, but this is what I think we need to add, just a very light covering, and then we'll see if that gets us a bit closer to the banana. Okay, so let's take another look. And that's a lot of the kind of underlying colours, I feel. But the main difference now between these two colours is this is yellower. I think we need to be adding some more yellow back to this to try and get it a bit closer to the banana. Now, looking at the different yellows here, so I would usually use this colour again because I've already used this colour. And that's probably what I'll do. It kind of looks quite similar to this colour. These colours are very similar, but this one's a little bit more orange. Same with this color up here, this one. It looks like maybe reasonably similar, but I think this is closer. But I will use the color I've already used and go back over the top of this to add that yellow back in. I do try and use the same colors rather than flitting around and using all of the colors of the set. If I can try and use the same color more than once, that's generally what I prefer. We are getting closer, so once again want to be thinking about the most obvious differences between these two colors, and it is getting a little bit harder as we go as it gets closer. Now I think from here we want a bit more of a kind of earthy tone. I feel like this looks a bit, it's just a different shade of yellow, more of a kind of orangey brown yellow rather than a bright yellow green. So I want to be thinking out of the swatches which color is probably going to change this to be closer to this yellow. And I'm particularly looking at some of the lighter ends of the colors. I'm looking particularly at this color here, the burnt ochre. This is a kind of orangey brown. It's obviously way too dark on this darker side, but looking at the lighter side of the color, I think that might just change this a little bit to make it a sort of more muted yellow closer to this yellow. Now it's important to remember that you don't necessarily need to get it perfect, and it doesn't matter if you do something and it looks wrong. You can always put another color over the top to change the color again, and you can just keep changing it until it matches. And then that's changed the color quite nicely to be closer to the banana. I do feel like we're getting a lot closer. So from here, I once again want to be thinking about the main color that's missing, and I think again it is yellow. This still looks just a bit brighter yellow than this, so I'm going to once again use this color and add more yellow on top of that orange brown. Okay, so let's again compare this to the banana. And I would say that I'm pretty happy with this. I would say that this is a pretty good match. Now I know what you're probably thinking here. You don't necessarily want to have a massive set of pencils, a set of 60 like I have, to try and create these swatches. You also don't actually want to create just swatches of colors. You want to know how to create a drawing by using this. So let's have a look at a set of cherries that I drew recently. Now these cherries are particularly interesting not only because it's an actual drawing and you can see how this applies to a drawing, but because I only used pencils from the set of 12 Prismacolor for this. So I didn't have all of the colour choice that I've got with the bigger set. But I can still use the same method to mix the colours together and create the colours of the cherries. So I'm once again starting here by putting down the colour that most closely matches the colour I'm trying to make. So here I'm using the only red that's in my set and covering the whole of the cherry with that colour. Now one way that this is a little bit different to the swatch is with the swatch I was trying to make one solid colour, where in an actual drawing, so with the cherries there are areas of shadow and areas of light, so I'm having to kind of make various gradients instead. It doesn't really change how I go about it, it just means that I may be adding an extra colour in one corner, for example, rather than putting that colour over the whole of the cherries. So you can see here that I'm needing to add some extra red on the top of the cherries. It's still the closest colour in the main thing that was missing on these cherries, and I was just able to build up more of this colour by going over it more times. After being happy with how the reds are looking, I wanted to compare my drawing to my reference photo and against the swatches to see what the next most obvious colour was that was missing. So on the darker areas of the cherry, the most obvious colour was a slightly darker red, almost a reddish brown. So in the set of 12, I did have a reddish brown, I had a burnt sienna, and I could put that colour over any area that I wanted to sort of tone down a bit, make a little bit less bright red. From there, I wanted to once again look at the most obvious color that was missing, and here I would say it was a much darker brown, so I used the dark brown in the set, again adding it to all areas that needed toning down, making the red look a bit less vibrant. And then from there, I felt like the light patches were looking a bit too light. I wanted to brighten them up with an extra layer of red, so I went back to that red, and then I noticed that some of the more shadowed areas needed a purple adding to them, so I could see a little hint of purple and I could just lightly put that over the top of the red to adjust the color in some areas. And then from there I felt like the red at the top wasn't looking bright enough, so I could go back over that red, as well as making some of the lighter areas a little bit darker, a little bit brighter red. And then I could draw my attention back to the darker areas, the more shadowed areas, really make those parts a lot darker before working my way back through a lot of the same colors I'd already used. So back through the darker brown, adding a bit more purple. I felt like the shadowed areas were still missing some purple, adding even more red to slightly brighten and adjust that color. And then I could lighten and smooth some areas out with the white. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of an idea on how this process looks with an actual drawing, and hopefully it's a bit less of a mystery how to go about mixing colors. I do think it's something that can be practiced, and as with all things, the more you practice the easier it is. Now if you liked these cherries and you would like to draw them with me, they are available on my Patreon. My Patreon includes loads of art tutorials where I go through in depth every step I take. Not only do they all have in-depth instructions, but there's also all of the real-time footage so you can see everything I'm doing, sketch outlines, details of all of the colours I'm using, and of course the reference photo. Do check out the link in the description. Now if you'd like to see a little bit more about how to go about building colours up, check out this video here where I do very similar to what I've explained in the cherries but with a bit more detail. Happy drawing guys, and I'll see you in the next one.